Hello, this is Jess. Good to see you. Chat session number 82. It's Sunday, January 21st, 2018, about 6:15 a.m. Worked another 12-hour shift. Been home for about an hour and pretty tired. Feeling alright though. And having a little bit of trouble adjusting the camera, but that'll have to do. It's about 50 something degrees, a little bit misty outside, but other than that it's alright. I've got to make a decision about working tonight 7 days straight. I'm pushing there all the limits of my, with this scar thing on my leg still not closed, and I'm working, but it's overtime. I need the money. Unfortunately, that's what we work for. Oh, I like coffee. We're going to go right into the tidbits of history for this day. We're going to start off with 1977. U.S. President Jimmy Carter grants an unconditional pardon to hundreds of thousands of men who evaded the draft during the Vietnam War. A total of 209,517 men were formally accused of violating draft laws, while the government estimates another 360,000 were never formally accused. Excuse me. It was one of Jimmy Carter's platforms. He said that if he was elected president, he would pardon the Vietnam era draft dodgers, and so that we could put that war behind us and bring these people back to the country. Most of them did flee to Canada. It turns out that over 50,000 of them probably ended up staying there, and of course it benefited the Canadian culture, and they did their thing. The rest of them came back home and were able to get on with their lives. Now, this was a very big controversial pardon. The vets were really upset about it, and understandably. But the consensus overall was that maybe Vietnam wasn't necessary, as we were told during the time of Vietnam, and therefore those people just refused to go over there. And they were dying left and right over there in Vietnam, and people call them whatever they want to call them, but some people stood up for their rights and did not go, and they hid or they fled to different countries and waited it out. And so Jimmy Carter decided if he was elected he was going to do that, and that was the first thing he did when he was elected, is he put out the pardon, and all them people got to come home and not be charged and stuff like that. So controversial stuff like that, but at least as president he ran on that, and he did what he said he was going to do, and he did catch a lot of flack for it. But anyway, okay. That's the next. We're going to go to the next little tidbit of history. 1793. One day after being convicted of conspiracy with the foreign powers and sentenced to death by the French National Convention, King Louis XVI was executed by the guillotine in the Place de la Révolution in Paris. Louis ascended to the throne in 1774 and had issues that he inherited from his grandfather Louis XV. Financially, it was just a big mess, and he tried to go about fixing it and convening certain things that hadn't been done in the government since like the 1600s. And it called the common. They had different segments that were called into place. The commoners took it as an incentive, and they started the French Revolution. This is, of course, Bastille Day. ramifications going on with all that, and that people were starving, and they just finally had enough, and they overthrew the power to be, and started the revolution. And of course, that Louis the 16th had to flee with his wife Marie Antoinette to Austria. But on their way there, they were apprehended by the French resistance and brought back and tried. And on the day he was to be executed, he walked steadfastly to the guillotine, laid down, and was executed on charges of treason with other foreign powers. His wife, Marie Antoinette, was also convicted of treason, and 9 months later followed her husband to the guillotine to be killed. There was a lot of stress in the country. Like I said, people were starving, literally, and the royalty had money, and they were really pompous about it, and it just got under the people's skins, and they decided to overthrow and take care of business, and they did that. All right, that's the excuse me, that's the tidbits of history for today, 1793 and 1977. Oh, you gotta love coffee. All right, gonna go into some other stuff. My first feelings about the government being shut down, I sort of touched on it yesterday, and this is day 2 now. Now, I haven't seen any news. I worked all night. I haven't seen any new developments, but I would assume that it's still shut down. And each day we'll sort of look at that and see what the effects are. But the Republican talking point is that Democrats didn't want to fund the government. Instead, they wanted to take care of DACA, all the immigrants that were brought over here as children and have grown up here in the United States illegally. And Trump wants to deport them. And, of course, the Democratic Party said that, hey, these people have been here for 20, 30 years. Now, granted, they're here illegally, but they shouldn't be, they have families now, they're raising kids, the whole thing, and it's what the Democrats took a stand on, and unfortunately, with no compromise from the Republicans on anything, and the Democrats standing firm on that something should be done about the bills and stuff that are being pushed through to deport all these people, 800,000 people, something like that, who they've worked, contributed to our economy. I'm not saying it's right or wrong on the context of that they are illegal, but they've been here for so long, and like I said, they've worked jobs, contributed with tax dollars, that kind of stuff, through their paychecks, etc. And it's one thing to, have illegal status. You're coming in. If you're just here a week or a month or whatever, you're caught. But like I said, some of these people have lived here for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and now they want to send them all back to the place they don't even know. They grew up here as kids. They don't know those countries where they're from. Could be dangerous for them to go back. Could put them in harm's way. And again, I understand the legalities. There's laws and stuff, but they weren't enforced before, and now all of a sudden you want to do that. I think that there has to be some kind of path maybe provided, even though they'd have to go through the program, but I think that they should be offered the quick way to becoming citizens. Now, if they're degenerates and they're breaking laws and doing all kinds of stuff, well, then unfortunately I would say that they have to go back. That's probably a small minority of the people that are involved in this, and it's a touchy situation because the government shut down. They say our military will go do their military stuff today, but they won't be getting paid. There's other organizations in the government that are going to show up to work Monday, but they're not going to get paid. So it's a balancing act. I think that both sides are to blame for this unfortunate situation with our government shutdown. But it's the first time in history that a party has owned the Senate, the House, and the presidency, and they got the government shut down. It's the first time in history that's happened. And that would be the Republican Party led by Trump. Whether or not you like him, whether or not you hate him, he should be one held responsible for this government shutdown at the ultimate end. And that's just the way it is. But again, that's negative stuff. I'd like to say hello to Jess Rankin. Hey Jess, I'd like to say hello to Ricky Bobby, Joel and Evenia, Charlie and Linda Price, Darren Real, Neil Woodall. These are all people that I've known for a long time. Hope everybody's doing okay. Probably not talking to anybody individual like I should. Just been working and going through this ordeal these last few months with all this treatment and doctors and stuff, and so my mind's been consumed by that. But I hope I'm on the outside of that, looking back now. I hope it's all over with. But never take anything for granted. Like walking up and down stairs when you got a huge incision right on your knee. It's tough to go up and down stairs, but here I am. It's over with. It's almost healed, and I can climb the stairs now without hanging onto the rail. My legs bending better, so cheers to better health for me. And let's do this. Be truthful and be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? We got football today. We got Patriots and the Jaguars, and then we have the Vikings and the Eagles, and I'll have my predictions and picks put out after a while here in just a bit on that, but I am picking the Jaguars and I am picking the Vikings, just as a if somebody wants to know ahead of time what my picks are. And have a great Sunday morning. Bye.